Hi, I'm Zoe Melanie Oster, and welcome. Today, I want to tell you about an aspect of healing that I really don't see mentioned many other places. To start out, like I said, I'm talking about healing. I'm not talking about treating any illness. I'm not talking about any diagnosis. This is not official medical advice. I'm not an MD, I'm not a DO, I am a naturopath, and I'm going to talk about healing today. So, basically, just to give a little bit of a history lesson, it's over 100 years ago, what we consider the modern medical profession used to be made methods of using poisons, using things like mercury, using things like bloodletting. And things changed after there was a discovery of what was bacteria, what it did in the body, what a virus is, and it led to a large focus on killing the cause of the disease. And it took focus away from looking at how the body heals itself in face of disease. And from my perspective, that's what my naturopathic lineage has tried to focus on to a certain extent. What we've tried to hold on to, many of us, is to work on how does the body heal and how do we help people heal properly. So, the three main ways of doing that, in my view, is actually putting good stuff in the body. It's actually kind of simple sounding anyway. Good stuff in, put good nutrition in, put good air in, good water and everything. Help the body get the bad stuff out in a very good way, in a very positive way, and to really work on how much vitality do you have. And I have separate videos on each of those things. Today I'm more working on this aspect of the process of healing that I think is a secret that shouldn't be kept. And I think it holds people back. So, one thing that we do often today that is actually helping create more of a toxic environment in our bodies is something called suppression. And I'm going to talk about separately too, but just to give it a very basic description or explanation of how it kind of works, is to give the example of a rash, and not a rash that comes from being in contact with something like an allergy or poison ivy. This is something where you have a rash that comes up seemingly out of nowhere, and you put a cream on it. There's different creams. I'm not going to get into details of what, but you put a cream on it and it goes away. Thing is, in those situations, that there's something going on in the body, and it is dealing with it in a way that it is coming out as a rash. If we just take the rash away, that deeper process isn't being addressed at all. And the body may go, oh, well, that didn't work. I'm going to try something different. And so whatever the body is not working with, not able to work with, whether you want to call it toxins, whether you want to talk about sludge, however you want to call it, whatever you want, it's keeping the body from being able to work effectively. So when you stop those processes, the body may come up with something else. You may just not be as healthy as well. So that is how we're creating more quote-unquote toxins as a category. And I bring it up specifically because we have been, as a society, we do a lot of suppression in terms of our bodies. We can suppress emotions, and through the current prominent medical professions, that's often what they do. It's very much like putting a black piece of tape on the check engine light on your car. You don't see the symptoms coming up, but you really don't know what's going on underneath. So when you go and do those things that get your health better, improved, like those things such as putting good stuff in, for example, putting good food in, helping remove toxins, getting things more vital. When you do those things, you're getting healthier and hopefully you're feeling better. So as that happens, the body sees an opportunity when it's healthy to say, I can process this now. It might sound familiar to, I think we're more familiar with hearing that with emotions. You don't want to, we're here, don't repress emotions. If you do, they're going to come out at different times in weird ways. We might have bouts of anger. If we repress sadness too much, it can lead to depression, things like that. Well, it's interchangeable, and working with it can work very similarly with the physical body. Just as our emotions can affect our physical body, we can suppress physical processes through suppression that will also want to express themselves once they're more healthy. So once you're more healthy emotionally, sometimes when there's some kind of trauma emotionally, there'll be time when much more in a place where you can handle those emotions is when it happens. And this is very similar as well with the physical body. So what can happen is you're doing good things for your body, doing healthy things, and the body's getting healthier, and then you start feeling sick. And it's logical to think, this isn't working. What am I doing wrong? And you might be going to a natural practitioner of any type, and you might be thinking, what am I doing wrong? Or you might think, okay, this doesn't work. I'm going to stop going to that person. And so you don't call them again. You don't have another appointment. But what could really be going on is that you're actually going in a great direction. And as long as your body is following a positive process, as I've been taught to look for and follow, and the body is healthy enough to do it, it's going to be experiencing symptoms that are probably familiar, and they tend to be less severe, and they tend to be the frequency and the actual duration tends to be shorter. And once you go through it without suppressing it, the body goes into a much healthier state and you start feeling better again. And this also is different from the detox feeling of getting the headache and this and that. And this is not what I'm talking about. This is a different process. So again, it's a great thing, and people don't know it's a great thing. It's a good place to be in, actually. And like I've said, I've been trained to look for what is a positive direction that the body is going into, and also to make sure that the body isn't really going in a bad direction, and that we do need to change something up if there is an emergency situation that could happen, that the other interventions need to take place to make sure that things are going in a healthy direction. And that's why it's great to work with somebody with that knowledge. It's difficult to look at your own body's process alone and to see whether you're going in a direction that is going towards health eventually, or if you need additional help in some way. So like I said, this is something that I focus on. I have a 12-week program, and I work with people with Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome and other chronic diseases. And this is a big part of the process. And it's a positive thing when the body's doing what it's basically born to do. So if that's something that sounds interesting, or if you have questions, feel free to contact me. My name is Melanie Oster. I go by Zoe often. And my business is Sunrise Natural Journey. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.